whatever.
That sucks.
Yes, it does. Oh, double lame. It should show us how many viewers come online too. So we'll have to wait and see. For some reason, it's saying you're not online, but I guess we'll find out what happens if people start joining and start commenting or dropping hearts. And
Where am
anybody
I?
that jumps on. Oh, oh, all right. Carrie says she can see me fine, and for you, Carrie says she can see you fine. So we're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's just me. So all right, I'm the only one that can't see you for some reason. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just talk to you. I'll talk to you from Carrie's phone.
How come I don't see it on my? Oh, there we go.
Um, I see it on your thing. It says we got 15, 16 people on there for some reason. I don't know. Facebook has just gone wonky with its programming lately. So sorry, everybody. I'll just watch Carrie's phone for any comments or anything that we need.
Okay, I can't see any of the comments because I'm on the Be Live one, but
Yep. Oh, okay. I see there's 18 people online. I don't think anybody's commented yet. So that's probably somebody drop a comment for us so we can see if Kevin can see them.
hold on. Looks like it's loading on Facebook here for me. One second.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of comments. There we go. That's probably somebody drop a comment for us so we can see if Kevin can see them. Echo.
Now we have the echo problem.
Loading on Facebook here for me. Yeah, you'll just have to close your Facebook. You got. There we go. Somebody drop a comment for us so we can see if Kevin can see them. Echo. We're doomed. We're jinxed, Kevin.
I'm just gonna close the Facebook app.
There you go. Close your Facebook app. That'll get rid of our echo. There we go.
Okay, I muted it, so hopefully that helps on Facebook. But can everybody hear me on Facebook? And I can't see the comments, so I don't know.
I got the comments for us here. I've got them on Carrie's phone. So we're just going to have to make do with the technology malfunctioning.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I guess you know what? First world problems, right?
Right, right.
So,
So are people on? Can they hear? Carrie,
yep,
can you confirm?
42, 43 different people are on. They can hear us. The comments are coming. People are saying hello. Thanks everybody for dropping on and putting up with our technology while we're trying to get up and running here. So Kevin, I guess we can just from there you can begin however you'd like to begin, sir.
Well, now I don't remember. Now, what are we here for?
But I don't know. It's a cheesecake recipe.
All right. Well, look, I guess, where I wanted to start was I've kind of been going through some things. Yeah, I really don't know how to explain what I'm feeling, but I want to be able to do something to help people. And the reason you and I, Adam, are doing this tonight is because one, we have something special to talk about in a few minutes, but I also wanted to let everybody know that I have plans for a 501c3 that I've already had picked my board for it, and so it's in the works. Obviously, a lot of work to do, and there's considerable expense to get that started, and I need your help for that. However, I just wanted to back up a little bit and just give you a little snapshot for those of you. First of all, if you don't know who I am and you're watching this right now, that's just weird. So who goes to people's lives and don't know who they are? So if you're out there, then please hang up because you're creeping me out. For everyone else, welcome. Thank you for your patience. Um, Trying to gather my thoughts here. So the organization that I want to create has vaccine injury as its basis. So, as you and I know, and so many people out there know, there's so much vaccine injury that occurs, um, and so many families that are dealing with expenses that they cannot handle. I don't necessarily believe that it's fair that you can help recuperate your child, help heal them from vaccine injury if you have the money to do so. So my goal is to fund those people that cannot afford these alternative treatments or these specialists or whatever the case may be. If it's flights, if it's keeping your lights on for the month, buying groceries, whatever I can do to help fund you on your recuperation journey. That's the goal of this organization. Um, like I said, we still have to write the business plan, and there's a lot of work ahead. But that's what encompasses my thoughts here. There's a lot of organizations out there doing many things. Raising funds for legal aspects that families are facing, and they're doing amazing work. But I don't know that anybody is actually giving any help to families that need it. So that's what I want to do. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, um, I grew up with crazy parents. So my my parents, when I was 5 years old, they decided they wanted to. We had just gotten to Alaska, and my dad was in the Air Force, and he got out of the Air Force a year later. So I was 5 years old, and they decided, well, he's out of the Air Force now, so let's move out to the bush of Alaska. So we moved 60 miles north of Fairbanks, Alaska, into a log cabin with no running water, no electricity, outhouse. So that was the mindset of my parents. Let's just try to make do with what we have out here, and embrace nature and that sort of thing.
That
We
sounds
lived like
horrible.
it, it actually, as a kid, it wasn't that bad. We had kerosene lamps. There was a little school, K through 12, had about 20 kids, and they had a generator at the school, so we had opportunity to play Pac-Man, and Atari had just come out, so we had some opportunities still. But we lived like that for 3 years, and then we moved to the big city of Fairbanks. So we my parents would still give of themselves to help anybody they could. And my mom started working at the Fairbanks Rescue Mission. She was the lead cook, and my dad would come there after work. I'd go and help, and we'd feed the homeless, usually a couple of nights a week. And then we would invite certain people over to the house for dinner. Like, we always had some sort of homeless person in our house for dinner nearly every night. And in 1990, my my parents saw a 2020 episode on the orphanages in Romania, and it was October of 1990, and they said, "Hey, we should go to Romania and help them." I was a freshman in high school, so like I said, because my parents are crazy, we moved to Romania, and this is right after communism had fallen. So we got to Romania in January of '91. Didn't know the language, didn't know the culture, nothing. We lived in the northeast part of the country, a little village, about 2,000 people. And, we had electricity, but no running water. We had a well. So my dad said, "Hey, we have running water. We have Kevin. So Kevin, go get water." So that was that was my life there. And that was supposed to be for 1 year as well. The deal was, we're just going to go for a year. We'll help out, and then we'll go back to Alaska. But after 6 months there already, we knew a year wasn't enough time, and it was hard. I was 14 years old, and seeing these kids in the orphanage that were atrophied in the fetal position. They were, 8, 9 years old. They just had bottle lips because they'd just been fed broth their whole lives. And it was, eye-opening. It was hard. And the only way I could deal with it, and the reason I'm telling you this is because some of you may recognize me as Dr. Kosher as well. And and I think that guy may have started in Romania because we were, so mentally drained seeing these kids every day. And, you can't cry all the time. You can't function like that. So at lunchtime, all of us volunteers would get together for lunch, and in this one room, and each kid had its own tick, own issue. There's some sort of issue that most of these kids had. And so my dad would, we're just all talking at the table, and my dad would all of a sudden start doing something with his hand. And then I would start doing something with my hand. And pretty soon everybody around the table is mimicking one of these children that we all are taking care of. And we would laugh so hard, just tears streaming down our face. And it was like some sort of release that we could get. And there was no cruelty involved with that. It was just stress relief. And so the I guess kosher has come from that in a sense that all of this that we're all dealing with is so absurd, and you can't cry all the time. So I have to do something to have some release there. So it comes from a place of love, believe it or not, even though he's a dick. But what are you gonna do? So from Romania, I got to Wisconsin when I was 17, finished high school and college here, and I kind of stopped helping people for a while, and I kind of closed myself off to, I don't know if it was the hardship in Romania. I don't know if it was a spirituality thing where I just kind of closed myself off for a long time. But what I know is that in this last year that I've started speaking out about vaccination and about the devastation that's happening to families, I've become more open, I feel some sort of weird energy. And, it's nothing I can see, but I feel an incredible pull to help people full time. And that is my goal. That is what I want to do. I want to establish this foundation and, just to give my life to helping people.
Well, also, if everybody wanted to know, I knew none of this about Kevin before we started.
Surprise.
It's surprising. You're like, okay, it turns out Kevin's got a story. Usually the people that do the most helping do.
So, well, in any case, what I want to say about this, and I'll let you start with the product, Adam, because it's a great opportunity. But I'll tell you, with the foundation that I want to start, look, I have a family. I need to support people as well, and I can't do that without income. So one of the goals was perhaps, people fund the organization, and I will take a salary from that, which in quite all honesty, I don't have a problem doing because I'm doing work, but on the other hand, I know that these funds are coming in that could really go to helping other people. And when I heard about this product that you have, Adam, I was really excited about it because it can already help people while I don't take any income from the charity, and instead use a product that is helping people to support my family too. So.
Yeah, I guess without further ado, if everybody's welcome or ready, sorry, I'll just kind of move forward sort of with what Kevin and I have for a solution and for a plan. People that don't know myself, it's probably a number of people. I mean, Kevin and you and I have a lot of mutual friends, but I myself, I do so many things. It's not even funny. I'm not even try and list them. I don't have near as cool a backstory as yours. My wife and I try to do as much charity work as possible too. Like I was vaccine injured as a kid. All the mercury fillings in my mouth, the fluoride rinse they made me do. Then in the military, I got a bunch of vaccines and they kept losing my shot records. That is a whole different can of worms. I got some just wonderful brain damage from a drug called Lariam, which is coined the military suicide pill. So it's causing all of this brain damage to veterans. And so I myself have a number of veterans charities that I'm partnering with, and I've got an orphanage in Uganda and a couple other things that I'm setting up, but that's not really the point of it. But coming along, Kevin came to me and he kind of said, hey, I want to do something about this. How do I make this happen? How do I make this work? And I mentioned to him that we have such a massive problem in the United States with the leaky gut problem, the mitochondrial damage, the toxicity, even, and believe it or not, in America, we have so much malnutrition. And one of the biggest things that we've got because of the Roundup problem that we've got, everybody in America has leaky gut. We've got the yeast and candida overgrowth. We've got all the EMFs that are throwing yeast all over the body. A lot of the vaccine injured kids, when we get in any PTSD or trauma or stress, these vaccines, anybody that watches Forrest Meredith's videos of how the vaccine nanoparticles will piggyback on the immune cells. And when a stressful event happens, it migrates up to the vagus complex, locks on the vagus complex, and now that has altered your digestive pH of your digestion because you don't release stomach acid the same way because you're locked in fight or flight, which changes your food is now not digested, which is going down in the digestive tract where your microbiome shifts. We've got so many people on antibiotics that have just ruined the digestive tract in so many different ways and shapes and forms. So when Kevin came and visited with me, I said, well, this is a really great time because I just started working with this product that came out that literally addresses all of these issues in one fell swoop. the mitochondrial function, the electrical voltages and potentials, especially the leaky gut, and getting that stuff reset and getting the gut health back where it belongs and back on track, because so many people just have the problems with the digestive tract just being screwed. And when your digestion is off, then all of your immune system is completely shot. And then your mental health is shot as well, because 70, 80, 90% of your immune system's in your digestive tract. 70, 80, 90% of neurotransmitters are made in the digestive tract. We've got so many of these kids that are vaccine damaged or the autistic that they only have a very small diet because they number one, can't digest anything else but that. And then number two, basically looking for some kind of a dopamine hit to get the reward out of their food. They're not being bad, but it's just they literally can't digest any other food because their gut health is thrown off. And then it also really throws off the mental health, because when the gut health is off, then you get inflammation all over the brain, disrupts all of those things. And also they need these foods because they're not getting their dopamine and serotonin system isn't functioning correctly because they're not making it correctly. So it's this little dopamine hits that they're trying to get to maintain functionality. And so basically this product that came out is a fulvic humic acid that's extracted from the bogs up in Canada, and it's flash frozen at 1,000 degrees below zero when it comes up. You can think of it like a shilajit powder, except shilajits are almost all contaminated. Fulvic and humic acid is very fragile, so if you don't have this flash frozenness to it, you don't keep the fulvic and humic acid intact. And so what it does when you start using this, it's so simple and it's dirt cheap and solves a whole ton of problems in one fell swoop, that it not only enhances nutrient penetration, that not only puts back the essential minerals that our soils don't have. To get the nutrition from an apple from the late 1950s, we'd have to eat 27 apples because of the terrible farming practices. And so that's why we've got so much of an overweight problem, is we've got loads of calories, but no actual nutrition. So the body,
the soil's just ruined, right? I mean,
the soil is just ruined, and Roundup has ruined the microbiome of the planet. It's ruined our microbiome. And so this fulvic humic acid really helps reset all of that in the human body so that we can start functioning at a proper level again. And so, a lot of my friends are activists, that it's very energetically intensive to go out and do these things, and do the activism and keep up with everything going on. And it gets so expensive to buy 100 different supplements all the time, and half of them don't work half the time. So you're blowing all of this money on all these different things because you can't absorb any of it. And even if you're juicing and doing the vegetables and all that, even if you do absorb some of it, then it doesn't make its way into the cell. And the EMF toxicity that's everywhere. This product literally helps approach all of the issues for even the physical activity. One of the coolest parts of it, they call it black oxygen organics, because this literally acts like a liquid oxygen that hijacks the Krebs cycle. So anybody that's got mitochondrial dysfunction, your body is actually able to eat this fulvic and humic acid as a fuel, and it changes the lactate recycling, the lactic acid recycling, the pyruvate recycling, the whole ATP, ADP, Krebs cycle, citric acid cycle. It hijacks the whole thing so that your body starts making huge quantities of energy, and your voltages skyrocket. And not only that, you've got the electrolytes, because we are light beings, we're electric beings. In order to move, you have to move this electricity around. Pure water itself will not conduct electricity. So you have to have an electrolyte in there. When our bodies are deprived of the electrolytes that we're not getting, these trace minerals that come from the soil, we're unable to move this electrical potential through the body and stay functioning. So
I was going to say, for me personally, I've taken this product now for 10 days or so, and I'm a lot more energetic, for one. And for two, I haven't really, since I live in Wisconsin and it sucks in the wintertime, so I'm not riding my bike. Some of us are in Florida now, but anyway, I'm not riding my bike, and but I'm so excited to try it when I do ride my bike, because one of the things I deal with, and this is so trivial compared to, vaccine damage. Okay, I realize that. So, but take it in stride anyway. A lot of us are athletes, and we like to try to perform well. And I'm excited to try to do this. One of the things I deal with is cramping. I've had some bike rides. I had one last year in Kentucky where it was 50 degrees or so in Wisconsin as I was training to go to this Century to do 100 miles in Kentucky, and and it was 89, 90 degrees there with 90% humidity, and I just could not keep enough electrolytes in me, and I was drinking a ton. And then I always remember, I think it was like mile 80 or so, there's a rest stop, and about a mile before that rest stop, both of my quads just fired up, just complete cramp, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I could hardly move my legs, and I made it to the rest stop, and I literally had to fall off my bike, and that was brutal. So I'm hoping that this kind of a product will also help with that oxygen and that electrolyte capability. So.
Yeah, and so a lot of people have been asking that are watching too. Kevin will I'll have him get a link to his Facebook group where you can join and you can read about it, read the files tab, get all of these different, all of the science, all the documentation. We've put a whole bunch in there already so people can start wrapping their heads around what it does. But basically, if people are asking, what is it and how do I use it? It's a fulvic humic acid. It's a way to reset your gut health because we get this small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. We have a yeast overgrowth. Everybody's got a candida problem thanks to EMF stressing out the candida in our body. We're supposed to have candida, but not in its pathogenic form. When we get all of these EMFs, it mutates and it turns into a defensive mode where the candida and the yeast turn pathogenic because it feels it's under attack. And so then the Roundup and everything too, and then the antibiotics we get thrown on. But the thing is, people that are taking probiotics, you're never going to reset your gut health with just probiotics. But the biggest thing you're probably going to end up doing is just causing small intestinal bacterial overgrowth because you're dumping a bunch of bacteria in there, but you haven't cleaned up the environment. One of the things that happened for me, I used to be a massive alcoholic for a decade, and I would drink literally a gallon of Diet Coke, and I would eat a pound of peanut butter M&Ms every day, and then gummy worms on top of it. Like I was just a fat, worthless piece of human garbage, for lack of a better way to put this. Military, this stuff, the drugs and the vaccines and stuff they put me on really messed me up. So given the toxicity I had ahead of time already, it didn't help anything. So what it's going to do is going to help reset the gut health. It's going to help the mitochondria function again. It's going to help your mood stabilize. It's fuel for the immune system. One of the biggest things people don't understand with the immune system, I love essential oils. I love all of these things to support the immune system and boost it and all these things. But many times what we're really doing is we're stimulating the immune system, we're directing it to do something. But the problem is, if the immune system doesn't have the energy to function, it can't do its job. We can stimulate it all you want, but that's like hitting the gas pedal when the gas tank is empty in your car. Your immune system can't function. It can't do anything. So this is literally a fuel for the immune system to be able to do its job. Anybody that's got the retrovirus problems and the mycoplasmas and the prions, mycoplasmas, Lyme disease, if you've got that, Lyme disease and cryptopyrroluria, it causes you to pee out all of your essential minerals so that you're basically locked in low voltages so the Lyme can continue to proliferate. That now makes you heavy metal toxic. So this works really, really well. It's also Lyme disease hijacks the mitochondria and wrecks it. Your voltages are really low. So this is a fantastic product for anybody that's got the Lyme, because if you've got Lyme, you're going to be mineral deficient. You're going to be heavy metal toxic. You're going to have nutrient absorption problems. You're going to have mitochondrial dysfunction. Your gut health is probably going to be off. Your brain health is going to suck. You're going to have low energy. This is fantastic that it can save people hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month to replace all of this crap that's not doing anything and they're not getting anywhere. And this is wonderful, and I love it because when Kevin and I talked about the partnership of this isn't just that selling a product just to sell a product. We're cutting the head off the pharmaceutical companies by saying we're getting the people away from pharmaceutical drugs and all of this other crap to say there's a really easy solution that makes this so much easier on your life, that is really easy to do. I myself, but like I was talking going back, is the weaponized Lyme disease that I got from being in the military. That is a whole, we'll put a pin in that because I have a lot to talk about that stuff later, but we'll be here all night if I get into it. But anyway, my gut health was so disrupted from all the alcoholism and the beer drinking and all the candy I'd eaten. About a month into this, all of a sudden, my entire intestines just unloaded the most like plaques that get in and just coat your intestines that keep you from absorbing nutrients. And all of it just started voiding out of me, just being like, oh my God, look at this stuff that was stuck in and I'd taken all the oils and Pod to Arco and all of the other herbs and supplements to try and clean my digestive tract out, and none of it would work. But this also works even as a bit of a parasite flush of a kind too, because it chokes out the eggs and the parasites, and then it hypercharges the immune system, so the immune system can really attack at the parasites and attack at the eggs. So
You
all
know
of
the
those.
stats on parasites, like 90% of Americans have parasites, and most of us don't know it.
Yeah,
That's
and look at the vaccine injured kids. There's parasite eggs inside of vaccines. Anybody that went to the Italian government that was testing vaccines, they found nematode eggs and stuff inside of vaccines. So people are, especially the vaccine injured kids, when you're metal toxic, you become parasite ridden as well because the parasites coat themselves in heavy metals to basically hide and guard from the immune system. They act like a radar scrambler, so the immune system can't tell what's down in there. So long story short, to wrap this up, I'm going to be talking all night about this. This is literally what we started working with, and it solves the problem of basically saying, how do we provide a solution for people that's going to save them hundreds of dollars a month, that's going to make their life so much better, that then is taking all of this money away from pharmaceutical companies, that then gives a bunch of different people an opportunity to not have to go to their 9-to-5 jobs anymore, to focus on these much bigger things of how do we start giving back and how do we serve better. And so Kevin and I, when we got visiting, we just said this was the perfect time to say, let's work with this, let's do this, let's help a ton of people, and then let's be able to spread up a bunch of awareness and free up our time even further to do even more things for other people. And so that's kind of what happened when Kevin reached out to me. It was just sort of a divine intervention, if you will, of just pitching, because we've been friends for quite a while, and it happened at exactly the right time to say, oh my gosh, I have a solution for so many people that we can do so many things and save people so much money, and then help you in a bunch of different ways, and then work with the foundation. And like my wife and I probably give out $3,000-4,000 worth of stuff a month, but it's like, well, we want to do even more to help people in so many ways, just because there's so many people that need it. But that kind of concludes my end of what I have for everybody, and we'll go back to you again.
Well, just, in looking at some of the literature on this stuff, I saw that, creatine supplementation is one of the aspects of this. And I found that interesting, mostly because a roommate that I had in college, he was on the football team, and this guy had a giant bucket of creatine that he would use every day. And this guy was kind of weird. He'd always get up early because he had football practice, and I would try to sleep in because I was in college. And at 8 a.m. he'd get back and he'd be already showered and everything, and he would sit right by my bed, and I could feel him, right? Like I could feel something's there. So I opened my eyes, and he's like right there. He's like, "You mind if I play the music?" It's like always it's some weird. I don't know. Maybe it was the creatine doing it, but and it was always "Walking on the Sun" by Smash Mouth or ABC by Jackson 5. So those were the two songs I had to listen to every day in like 1997 or something.
Sounds horrible.
It was, yeah. But anyway, I mean, if this replaces that sort of muscle growth and potential too, or strengthening, it's just an exciting product, and it's affordable, very, very affordable.
Yeah, it completely replaces creatine, because creatine's only a tiny aspect of the entire Krebs cycle. It's just like you've got 20 Legos in here, and so you're saying, I'm going to put a whole bunch of blue Legos in when there's this entire spectrum of colors. The fulvic humic acid is literally the whole rainbow spectrum to make it work and move you out of anaerobic respiration into aerobic respiration, so that your energy production goes way up. And the Krebs cycle and the lactate recycling and the pyruvate recycling and the lactic acid recycling and buffering systems just skyrocket. But yeah, once again, there's been a bunch of people asking, like, how do you get it? Where do you get it? Where do you go pick some up? Kevin's going to drop a link to his group right after the video on his personal page to be able to join the group, go in there. He'll have a pinned post of where you can pick some up. Yeah. And I'll have a bunch of training available throughout the group. I've got a mad scientist and my friend Joey, who is a master epigeneticist, genius level guy. We're going to have tons of really, really great science on how this works with the retroviruses, the immune system. Just so many things. It's going to be a ton of fun to follow along, even if you're not going to get any of it. It's just, this is going to be cool stuff, and we're going to have fun with it.
Definitely. I actually have some here. Should I do a little demonstration on what it looks like?
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
Cool.
Right. I've got it in my water, I think.
Well, I can show it as it goes in the water. So this is the product, called Blue Water. Again, it's black oxygen organics. So you just take a couple droppers full. And it doesn't taste like anything, this version, but you can.
Yeah, I like the unflavored drops the best. It tastes like, oh, my kids love it. I've got a 1.5-year-old literally chugging, like she'll chug it like crazy. And my gosh, the amount of poops it gave her the first couple of days that she was doing it I was getting really tired of changing diapers. But apparently
You told me about that, but I haven't had any massive poops, so still waiting on that.
give it a little bit. Everyone's a little different. It took about a month for my wife and I both. It took us about a month to really have some intense thing happen.
Anyway, it doesn't taste like anything, but it does make you energized. I've been staying up later because I'm trying to work on paperwork and stuff for the foundation, and yeah, I'm not getting as much sleep as I should, but I don't feel bad. So
Yeah, my sleep is so low, it's ridiculous most days. Also, for pregnant women, with every child that a woman has, she loses about 2 pounds of minerals that she has to donate to the child. And so this starts leaching a bunch of the minerals from her. So any of the mothers that are out there that start getting, they're tired no matter what they do. It's when you have had all of these minerals taken out of you, breastfeeding women too, because you're giving more minerals through the breast milk to try and support that baby. It's really important to put this stuff back in, or your body just isn't going to function the way it's supposed to. And we get into the mineral release. Heavy metals like aluminum and lead are actually stored in the bones. So you get the mineral mobilization. You also get toxicity mobilization if you're mineral deficient. And then you go to get pregnant, or you are pregnant, because your bones start literally dissolving it from the mother to give to the baby.
Your kids are born mineral deficient too. You got that to deal with.
Yep. And then that mineral deficient baby, because mom is mineral deficient, you've now got a mineral deficient baby. Both of them are now more susceptible to toxicity because they don't have the minerals as a buffering system.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a good product. I'm excited about it, and most of all, I'm excited to help people right now. But to have this to transition into a new chapter where I believe I'm being led somehow into doing this, and as crazy as that sounds, it's hard for me to even say it, but I'm listening to the energies out there, to whatever it is that's driving me to do this. But I feel an incredible drive to help others, and I'm just thankful for this whole opportunity.
No, well, it's great to be working with you. I can't wait to work with so many different people and just actually provide a solution right now that is really cheap, that will help a bunch of people, then we can really step it up and do even more as time goes along. So it's just, here's where we're at right now. Here's a solution we can do right now that's cheap. Mm-hmm. It does so many things. It can save people a ton of money. And then we can focus on even bigger and better things as we go along, which is amazing. That's the best part about it.
Definitely. So thank you guys for tuning into this. Thank you for listening to, well, first of all, for your patience in getting this started. Sorry, Facebook's been really difficult with the lives. We're not the only ones having problems. But we came up with a solution. Thankfully to Adam here. So again, I look forward to working with you. I look forward to talking to all of you after I get off of this tonight, and I guess we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I bid you adieu. And Kevin, thank you so much for your time and everything. And Kevin will drop a link as soon as we're done, like just on his personal page, where you can drop into the group and start following along and see what's going on. And then he'll have his we'll get his link to where you can pick it up too, right as one of the pinned posts.
Okay. See you guys. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, everybody.